Welcome back to some new r/petty revenge stories, where people share small victories over those who wronged them. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Pay Your Bills. The situation in question happened to my neighbor. My neighbor is frugal, bordering being a cheapskate, and has been beefing with his previous lawn care company. Said neighbor has been disputing the amount he owes them, somewhere between $200 and $400, over the services rendered. He has owed this amount for 6 months, which was when said company last performed any services. The owner of the lawn care company got fed up, so a week ago, one of his employees sprayed weed killer into my neighbor's lawn to spell out, "Pay your bills." My neighbor is mad. You can read the message from the street, and wants to file a police report. I think his ego is damaged more than anything else. If he didn't have a known history of being stingy, I'd feel for him, but because of this, I think the situation is quite hilarious. The next story is called Don't Touch My Clothes. I went on a cruise recently, and they had free laundry services. The last day at sea, we decided to do laundry, to not have to worry about it after the trip. My fiancé loaded the washer, and then changed to the dryer when needed. I went down to get everything out of the dryer. Now our clothes were on top of the dryer, and someone else had placed their stuff in. We set a 45 minutes timer, which hadn't expired. So someone deemed my clothes dry enough and took them out. Granted, they were. So I gathered my clothes and left. But before doing so, I turned off the heat on the dryer. So when they came back 45 minutes later, they would find their clothes still wet. Don't touch my clothes. The third story is called Insisted on It. A few years ago, my wife and I lived in a middle-class neighborhood in the suburbs, on a quarter-acre lot. We even managed our dream of owning about a dozen chickens. My 5-year-old son and I would go door to door in our neighborhood to sell their excess eggs, mostly to teach him how to work, etc. The only problem was that we constantly battled with raccoons and stray cats that would attack our birds. We'd catch several raccoons in traps every year. On the other side of our fence lived a couple of female students in their 20s who were roommates. Their front door faced another street, so we didn't talk to them often. Unless they were buying eggs from us. I'll call them Susie and Mandy. They owned 2 huge dogs that would run around their backyard. One night, a stray cat attacked, and one of my chickens flew over the fence into Mandy and Susie's property. We got a call from the city to collect the chicken. I walked over and found it hiding in the corner of the property, directly on the other side of the fence. I was as polite as I could be. It seems that the sudden appearance of this chicken emotionally rattled Susie and or Mandy. I explained that we lose chickens from time to time to raccoons, so it was great that the hen was well. Then I apologized profusely for any inconvenience and gave them my phone number. They didn't say much other than to thank me for coming over to retrieve the chicken. Not long after, the animal control officer stopped by our house. She looked embarrassed to be there. According to the officer, Mandy and Susie both insisted on us getting a fine for the mishap with the chicken, $50. The officer said that she would have been comfortable with a warning, given that this was the first offense. But since the offended party was insistent, we took the fine. About 2 months later, one of my chickens lost against another predator. I gathered the remains in the early morning and chucked it over the fence into the neighbor's yard. My wife reported screaming and barking from that side later that day, but no visit from the authorities. The last story is called The Worst. About a decade ago, I was hired for a pretty unique job in my field of study, and I was so excited to start. I'm flown down to train for a week with my new manager, who had interviewed me, and I thought seemed nice enough at the time. I was very wrong. This manager was literally the worst. I quickly discovered she was a micromanaging southern mean girl. Definitely that kid in kindergarten that would yell, "Teacher!" Billy is chewing on his pencil eraser again. Kind of energy. Nothing I did was right. She called my office multiple times per day to check in. If I answered the phone, I was asked why I wasn't out doing my job. If she left a message because I was out, I was asked why I didn't answer the phone. During one of our annual team meetings, she meant to text another manager something nitpicky about me, and the message went to me instead. She literally just said, "Oops," when I asked what I just received. That kind of crap wears on a person. 3 years to the day I was first hired, I was laid off with half the team. It sucked, but I found a new job where my skills were unique and celebrated. My new manager is supportive, hands-off, and reasonable. I've been promoted almost every year. Just had my 6th year anniversary, and now I'm part of the management team for our program. No one else in the company does what I do. The bad memories from my last manager experience faded away. I was happy, so I'm working away one afternoon right before Christmas and get a message alert from LinkedIn. It's her. It's the worst manager. "Hey, I just had an interview with one of my programs, and they mentioned knowing someone else that worked for the last company I worked at." Mid-interview, I couldn't quite think, but as I was sitting here eating lunch, I realized it is you. "I hope you are doing well, and just wanted to let you know it made me smile." She mentioned you had provided some stories about the last company, and I couldn't help but laugh because there were so many. Anyway, have a great holiday, and hopefully we'll be working together again soon. "Oh, no. I replied to her, "Seems like a lifetime ago. I keep my fingers crossed for you." I immediately messaged the interviewing team and asked if they had just interviewed this person. They had. They loved her. They were in the process of drafting an offer. All I typed was, "If you hire her, I quit." The lead interviewer started a conference call. At some point, we had all shared horror stories of bad managers. I asked them if they remembered mine, and they did. I explained that my story was about the person they just interviewed. The last team we need for this team is someone like that. I'll tell HR to stop her offer, and I'll wait until after the holidays to let her know our decision. It was a really tough decision after all, a very strong candidate pool. So he literally let her twist in the wind for 2 weeks for me. Did I mention I love my management team here? Not all managers go to bat for their people, and even fewer join in on petty revenge. I can never quit now. We did fill the position with another person from my previous company that I advocated strongly for. I hope she knows. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.